In this video, I'm going to be breaking down question 28 of the USMLE's 2021 version of the free 120 sample questions for step 1, which is linked in the video description down below. As always, if you haven't taken a look at this question yet, I encourage you to pause the video, try working through the question on your own, then come back here and check out the breakdown. So let's go ahead and take a look at the question. And as always, I like to start at the end, figure out what they're asking, and then go back to the passage to get the information that we need to answer the question. So here they're saying the most likely cause of this patient's condition is a nodule in which of the following locations. So thinking about the styles of question we can get on step 1, mechanism, diagnosis, or association, this sounds probably like a mechanism question. So we're going to find some symptoms and see if we can figure out what would explain it. A nodule where would explain it. So we've got a 42-year-old person coming in. They've got some constipation, abdominal discomfort, fatigue. That's so vague, I'm not going to highlight it. Then they've got a history of kidney stones, a lazy gallbladder. I'm not quite sure what that means. And then we've got a little bit of elevated blood pressure, erythrocyte count. I don't know what that, I don't remember the normals for that, so I would probably have to check the values on the sheet and the lab values that they give you on the test, and that is a little bit low. And then calcium is definitely high, phosphorus is low, alk phos looks high. And so we're trying to figure out what would cause these symptoms. So I'll be honest, some of these symptoms some of these I might have a good explanation for, some of them I might not be able to explain. So I'm going to probably anchor on things that I can explain well. And the thing that jumps out to me is calcium. So I'm going to see if I can find something here that explains why calcium would be up and phosphorus would be low. That's the thing that I feel most comfortable anchoring on this question. So looking through these answer choices, so we have adrenal glands. Now those, I'm going to rule that out, because adrenals, that doesn't really, they're not really involved in calcium regulation in the body. So I'm getting rid of that right away. Same thing with B. Like if I think of our flat peg hormones that come out of the pituitary, none of those really affect how calcium is managed within the body. So I'm getting rid of that. C, gallbladder, I could see someone wanting to stick with this because there's this whole thing about a lazy gallbladder. But if I back off a little bit and look from kind of bird's eye view, does the gallbladder affect calcium regulation in the body? It doesn't. So even though this person has this weird lazy gallbladder in their history, that wouldn't explain the calcium abnormality. Kidney. Are kidneys involved in calcium? Yeah, they are. They make vitamin D, and that's supposed to help with calcium absorption. But if the kidneys were messed up, I would kind of expect calcium to be low, not high. And so for that reason, I'm gonna, I don't really like kidney. I'm gonna cross out kidney because it's the wrong direction for what I would expect to be happening if this were going on. And then parathyroid. That sounds right. That's involved in calcium. If we have high parathyroid regulating it, then we'll have high calcium and low phosphorus. They move in opposite directions, so that checks out. And then F, thymus. Well, that's like white blood cell, T cell maturation. So that, again, doesn't really have anything to do with calcium. Now, I could see someone kind of getting confused with that one. So remember, like the George syndrome, that's a problem with the branchial pouches don't form, and we get like an absence of the thymus, and then we also get an absence of parathyroid gland tissue, and so then people, as a result of that, will have low calcium. So again, that's in the wrong direction, and I could see someone maybe just bundling those together in their head and maybe thinking like, well, E seems too straightforward. I'm not going to pick that. They're probably seeing if I know this other thing, because maybe they're thinking like, I don't know what they might be thinking, like trying to justify like maybe the low red blood cells or something like that. But I think we've got to anchor on what could explain this one hard finding and then go with that. So that's how I would approach this question. If you like this video, check out some of the other videos on this series. And as always, I hope this helps you out on test day.